our political systems are built on various adumbrations of this concept of freedom.
We're taking over the airwaves, St. Louis. So step out of your safe space and polish up that foil hat.
I have certain rules I live by. My first rule, I don't believe anything the government tells me.
It's Hoosier Sophisticate with Craig Kohler and Stephen Elgin. Your deprogramming begins now.
Man cannot fall and be redeemed without the dimension of human freedom. Only the free can be guilty, because only the free are responsible for what they do.
All right, guys, I've known my betrothed Jen for a long while now. So this is going on about 7, 8, 9 years ago. My son's 9. May have been before he was born or right after. She's introducing me to all of her friends. I didn't have the best reputation. Kind of a ladies, man. I know you guys get it. But I was trying to kind of work my way in with my girlfriend at the time's new friends. I wanted them to like me. You've been there before, right?
Sure.
Okay, so I go to this party at my girlfriend, who's now my wife's house, or at her friend's house, friend Holly. Bunch of people I don't know there. I know a few of her friends. I don't know. I'm more comfortable with kids at a party.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I kind of know what you mean.
But sometimes the adults rub me the wrong way, and I just want to rub the kids the right way. You know what I mean? That didn't come out right. I like to play with kids. I will say you have the energy.
Like Neverland Ranch
of an army of 5-year-olds. I envy the energy that you have when around children, because I ain't got time for it.
I know.
I have no time for it. I love having a friend like you around, pal.
So I'm mixing it up with some of the kids there that I know. Kristen, Kristen, my wife's friend,
Sure.
Her kids are there. There's some other ones. So we're kicking around the soccer ball. There are some good ball players.
Sure.
So we're kicking around the soccer ball. Everybody's making their welcome. And it's a big house in South County with a big backyard there. I don't think there was a pool. Now there's a pool. It's a wide open spaces. So you're crossing balls 30, 35 yards. You're sitting there, you're settling them. You're showing them what you can do. You know
love
what I mean?
crossing balls.
I love, see?
It does feel good.
Yeah, it does. So we're hitting corner kicks back and forth to each other. So there's some commotion going on. Apparently, one of the friends who just had a newborn baby, fresh newborn baby.
Right? Were we talking months old, or are we talking weeks
days?
Old? Okay.
We're talking a days old baby.
It's a brave move. Bring a kid out there.
Oh, totally.
Okay.
So everyone's going crazy for this. Oh, hey, this baby's here. And I kind of see it out of the corner of my eye, but I'm like, whatever, it's cool. So they have to walk kind of through the group of people in the back gate, through the group of people to get into the house. So they got about a 20-yard trek from this fence to get inside the house to get that baby safe. Okay. That baby's in danger.
The baby's in danger.
Let me just tell you, that baby's in danger.
Is this like a barbecue type thing going on?
So it's like it's just a gathering. I think it was. I felt like it was a little maybe in the evening time though.
Okay.
But it's definitely something along the same line. She's always having parties. She's a great host. Holly's the best host. She's the type who has like the sayings on the wall and stuff like this. Yeah. It's better with people here. You know what I mean? You're like, God, I love it over here. We're having a good old time, and Jenny's doing her thing. Everybody's kind of doing her thing, and I Kristen's daughter, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna send her on one. I'm like pushing her back. I'm like, hey, go. I'm gonna rocket this one, okay? Put a nice bend on it. You played soccer. You
bend it like Beckham.
Exactly. I'm gonna put some bend on it. I hook this thing. I hook it bad. I hit it firm. Hit it real firm.
Got a lot of the instep though.
Got a lot of the instep, but enough toe to really. It was like I was putting on a shot about the top of the box and trying to rip one upper 90.
Okay.
So I hit it, and I just see the kid's face like, oh, no. And I'm realizing, I'm like, oh, this is not going anywhere near this kid. This is a size 5 soccer ball.
Okay. FIFA regulation.
The young lady and her husband are walking in, and they're raising their child up like Simba to show
like
everybody.
Rafiki?
Yes, they're showing the world their newborn child. So I see the ball traveling for him, and I'm like, heads up. It's like choking me because I know it's going for him, but this is a baby in a baby seat with the bar over it. They're holding the car seat. It's the whole kit and caboodle. swear to God, hand to God, this ball finds its way and smokes this baby in the face. Everyone loses their minds.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
Mind you, this baby's days old. Okay. I think I've murdered the baby. I'm 40 yards away.
You've dropped the bomb on him.
The screams that I heard coming from this group of people are screams that I have never heard before in my life.
No.
Sheer terror. So I look at this 6-foot picket fence behind me, this privacy fence painted white, and I'm like, yeah, I can get that. I can definitely get that.
You're out of there.
I'm gone, son. So I'm running. I'm in a half step. I'm like, I don't quite know what to do. Jenny's looking at me like, please tell me you didn't kill a baby. Please. I told you to not do one thing. To do one thing. Don't murder children.
Don't kill a baby.
Balls. The baby's dead. Thank you for that integrity. Integrity in the building.
Integrity in the building.
So this ball smokes this baby. I go slinking over there. They're pissed. Okay. Mom wants nothing to do with me. Dad might fight
Dad's
me.
trying not to laugh.
Yeah, for
if
real.
he's anything
probably.
like me, he's pretending to be mad. Like, hey, that was
I don't
actually a good shot.
I don't remember the dad even being there. But the fact that I made
No, but
the
you don't
ball,
remember the dad even being there.
I made, imagine what the kid thinks. The ball made it through what? That's a 12-inch window, and the ball's 7 inches.
Are we talking like a pumpkin seat?
It's a holder, like the newborn. You're not taking the baby out of there. You're just holding it in there. Everybody's looking at it.
You know, rock it a
The
little
baby's
bit.
not out. It's in that thing, and I still managed to crack it
That's a hole in one,
like
dude.
Michael Owen on the Sunday for the Premier League. So anyway, time travels by, and I oft think, oh, I wonder, like, stories. I'm always telling stories about people. I wonder how many stories there are about me out in the world. You know, I mean, like, oh, I saw that guy and he did something funny and great. Brad Hagedorn, we had an awesome party at a Friday at Parlor. We're going to get into
that in a minute. Yeah.
But Brad Hagedorn, one of our best fans, his wife Rachel, beautiful people. Guess who his work associate is? The
Is it
lady, the mom. And the kid is 9 now.
It has looks like Scottie Pippen.
Yeah. Yeah. The kid's not doing so hot. No, I had to ask. I'm like, how's the kid? And they're like, she's reading at a 4th grade level. You're fine, dude. Because I was like, that's some CTE. I gave that baby. I gave that baby some long-term brain damage. They're malleable. Babies are malleable.
They're
Okay.
made of
I
rubber.
didn't mean it. But I tell you what, if that wasn't the craziest thing, and then to hear it 9 years later that Brad goes, oh yeah, she's still telling that story. She's telling it a lot. Everyone at my work knows that. They didn't know it was me, but they know a guy took a crack at their baby. If you gave me 1,000 attempts and said, crack that baby, Steve, maybe one one time I get that baby in the face with a soccer ball, but I got him with that one.
Oh.
Shout out to Lindsay, I think is her name.
And I'll tell you what, our sponsors could not be more proud to put their name on the product of baby smashing people like Steve.
Charlie Pond says hello. Corey, Charlie, Janet, Seth,
CG.
Steve. What's up, everybody?
What's up, guys? Guys, welcome to Hoosier Sophisticate.
Ciao.
Here on WGNU 920 AM. We're streaming live at WGNU920am.com. You can check out the Facebook stream.
Hard.
Sophisticated Hoosiers is the fan page. You go out there, check that out. We're streaming live on YouTube. The channel's Mycelial Media. We're just trying to have a little bit of fun here, St. Louis. It's a little sloppy outside. Extra sloppy.
Like I'm extra sloppy.
And this whole presentation is
Yeah?
brought to you by MoMed Canco, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company. Check out MoMedCanco.com for all of your hemp oil needs. There was a thing came out a couple weeks ago. We'd been talking about it a few months ago when they tested 9 different ones in the area. None of those tested positive. Well, then
one with the lab results matched.
and then down in Florida they tested 6. Only one match there.
Oh no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
0 in Missouri.
0 in
1.
Missouri, 1 there. We decided, hey, we're going to talk about cannabis often. We're going to talk about psychedelics being used as medicine. We're going to talk about some stuff that you don't really find on terrestrial radio. We better at least have sponsors that are offering a quality product and back up, like we at least kind of know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
That's why we asked-
Extraterrestrial radio.
extraterrestrial radio. MoMedCanco.com. If you enter HOSO at checkout, you will get 15% off your entire order site wide. They've got the They've got the cocoa.
Coco.
And I'll tell you,
Put the
people
cocoa in
have
the
tried
coffee.
several different kinds. First off, just go and shop their prices. They're typically around 20-30% less than anybody else out
That
there.
still amazes me.
They ship it to your door nationwide for free. Customer service, fantastic. The product is amazing. We know where it's grown. We know where it's processed. We know that it's real.
Yep.
We know that it's good.
Yep.
Our fans have nothing but great things to say about their experience with momedcanco.com. Check them out.
Lab
Your host
results,
will check
baby.
it out.
Ask for lab results. I know we don't have them up on the site, yet, but lab results, because even with lab results, after if you're getting gummies, if you're getting anything like that that's coated with the CBD, they lose the value of the CBD when with your packaging, when they're getting exposed to light, heat, anything cold. So make sure you're getting a quality product, because that's what it's all about. Momed Can Co. They do. They have the best product in the game. We've heard people time and time again. How about the dog and the cat? The cat. And you didn't even think about it. Dog had 3 legs. It was in terrible shape. My buddy goes, hey, you think you can get some CBD? I'm like, you 100% right, I can. Gave him. Next day, he shows me a video. This dog is running around like the day before. It looked
Now
to me
has
like
5 legs.
Yeah, it grew 2 extra. And no, but it was acting like a normal dog. And the night I went over there before, it was like, I don't like you, and I don't like anyone. Like, end it.
I give it to my dog.
Yeah, man. My cat, we got that beautiful little kitten,
Oh, God.
Cicely. We adopted her. She was hit by a car, like just days old. They had to amputate her leg. And she's really won me over on cats, man. I love this cat to death. Cats are nice because you can go out and party. You don't have to plan your schedule around their continence.
Yep.
You know,
Dogs will poop in your
great.
house.
However, she starts kind of howling a little bit. And
I
I'm
heard
like,
it on the back of the phone.
and
today.
I'm like, oh man, I thought she was in serious pain. So I'm doing a little bit of research. Mama's doing a little bit of research. Like, oh, your kitty's in heat, and it doesn't even seem possible because she's so young.
Yeah.
But only a few months in, they're ready to rock.
She's like Sansa
She's
Stark.
just looking for a little play. It's hard to be mad at her, but Steve, it's wearing thin.
Yeah, I heard it on the
You
phone.
heard it on the phone, and I'm like, oh, like my eyes are like, I'm not sleeping well.
I couldn't take 30 seconds of it.
I'm not sleeping well, and I got to tell you, it was so funny because I'm thinking, well, I got to take a little bit for me so I can sleep a little better.
Yeah.
And then one of the guys was like, well, have you tried giving her CBD? And I'm like, I am a moron. I talk about the benefits of this supplement every week, and I have not thought to do it. Definitely mellowed her out. I also gave her a heroic dose of catnip. So like she mellowed for sure.
Heroic
But man, it's
dose.
still been around the clock. Like we plan on getting her fixed. They wanted to wait till further after the surgery, and she was young. So this month she's gonna get fixed. But boy, howdy.
You know what though, Craig? That's what got the Dutch in trouble. You gave her about 6 grams of catnip in silent darkness.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, we got a text earlier today from one of the fans, and they're like, how much my wife is struggling from anxiety, how much, what kind, what milligram, how much, when I get the milligrams. I mean, I think everyone's a little different. I use the 1,000.
I like the 1,000
I
myself.
used the 250. I've used other brands in the past, and I think a half dropper works for me usually.
Yeah. I think they say 4 or 5 drops for your first time.
Yeah, with the
You're not
1,000.
gonna- yeah, for sure.
With the 1,000, I do about 3-4 drops. The 250, maybe I'll do a half dropper. Maybe I'll do a little more because I'm crazy. It's not like you're gonna OD on it, Craig.
That's not gonna happen.
So yeah, just try to. You can use it and try to figure it out yourself, which I think sounds ridiculous about medicine because we can't even
But
call it
if
medicine.
you can at least relax and know that there's not like a fatal dose, and you can start small and kind of find out where your groove is, you know.
And if you do one drop, hey, if it works, it works. Great.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Hey, it's more cannabidiol than you would have had in your system otherwise.
Darn right, everybody.
You brought something up, and I think we could probably talk about this at great length. But you did bring up that Brad came out to Friday night. We had a little after party at Parlor after our show last week. I think we had roughly about 22 people came through, and had some delicious cocktails, hung out, played some really fun games. A lot of nostalgia.
Refreshments were served. Yes.
Yes. And we decided to get down a little NBA Jam, brother.
Ooh, we smoked them.
We smoked
Hey, Brad and
Michael
Michael
Lore.
Lore. Oh my God. Pop. Thunder Dan Marley's probably haunting you guys in your dreams
Thunder
right now.
Dan Marley put up a 30 spot.
30 and 14 steals, I believe.
Yeah, he just had a game for the ages. I mean, I was Barkley. I had like 17 points.
I don't know. Craig couldn't get grasp that you needed to get into the paint to dunk.
What's the deal,
He
Pickle?
kept doing finger
I
rolls.
kept coming
You're
from the
Barkley, baby.
I know you gotta.
Take it to the hoop,
I
baby.
know.
God.
I know.
He played well. Okay, I called everyone out earlier in the night. I said I'm going to take anyone to task on NBA Jam, and guess
Dude.
what? I backed it up for the first time in my life.
You guys had quite the crowd around you.
We really did. I didn't think
Me
you
and
could
my
fit-
friend were like, let's go watch. And we're like, we can't even
I
get a
didn't
good
think
seat.
you could fit.
There's
four
like
grown
there's
men.
3 deep.
I know.
Yeah, I didn't
I had
like.
to
Like
sneak in.
luckily we had
Cockfighting
Steve in there
match,
because
like-
me, Mike, and Brad we're not exactly the smallest guys. So Steve just kind of slid his little way inside there, and he's like, "Let me show you a little bit of this Dan Marley action."
I was doing this, and I was like, "Damn, Marley!" Too. And he
done
crushed
Dan.
it. His 3-point thing is 0, though. I
What's
thought he
it?
threw. I thought he
Barkley
hit
was a
threes.
better 3-point
Yeah.
shooter.
his head and cough.
Yeah.
So no, we had about 20
He's
people
on
come out. We hung out
fire.
on the patio a little bit. It
Boom,
was a pretty cold night, but that patio was still pretty comfortable.
That wasn't bad.
It's nice because it's you're at least surrounded by walls.
Yeah,
It's open air,
No wind.
but no wind really whipping through there. So that was nice, little refuge from the crowd a little bit.
Sure.
We were posted up in the corner. We talked a little bit about some aliens and everything, and then from there, we went down the street. We decided to grab a sandwich, and it was later on in the night. We brought a heck of a crew down there. And what happened to you, buddy?
Oh
Because,
my
Steve,
God!
You came. I was outside, and you came outside with a smile
Ah.
I've never seen before. You were just
I was
you were
feeling no pain.
cheesing, bro.
What'd you have me try at the drink selection at Parlor? Oh my God, the sour beers. Well, I'm a big sour beer. If you're a sour beer or craft, they got all of them.
Yeah.
They got a lot of them. What was the whiskey? Boulevard
Oh,
It's called a Boulevard.
A soft lemon.
It was View Carrere.
No,
Yeah.
some big ponton.
Yeah, it was the. I'll tell you what it was. Go
Here's the
ahead.
deal.
Give me
So
a
I had
Tennessee
one of
whiskey.
those. I had a couple drinks. I was feeling pretty good. So we go to Gramophone. The line is pretty long. That place was popping too. The Grove is where it's at, man. That place is so awesome.
It was hopping, dude.
So I'm like,
It's like Vegas with less prostitutes.
oh, I saw quite a few every
I-
time I looked in the mirror.
Yeah, I didn't
Thank
know
you.
if it was
I was selling my body.
I
I
didn't know if they were a Steve or a Sally.
Yeah, it was
so
the
I
View
steer
correct.
cleared.
So anyway, I'm in there and I go to the Gramophone and everyone's eating their sandwiches or ordering. My wife tells me, she's like, you got to get in line. And I was like, this line's super long. I'm going to hang out for a minute. I'll go get my sandwich later. All of these things played into all of this happening. Okay. All these little mini decisions. We went to the Gramophone first. We weren't even we were going to get sandwiches first. And we said, let's go to Parlor first and we'll eat sandwiches later. And Missy was being like, I got to get a sandwich. Finally, we're like, let's go.
Yeah, she
all
led
of
the
these
crew.
little mini things had to happen for this magical moment in my life. Magical.
That's the thing
dude.
I love for sure.
Okay. So I we're in there and
Serendipitous.
Indeed.
yes, the
Sort
best
of,
word for it. That is.
It was absolutely serendipity.
So we were in there. I end up waiting till the line goes down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go order my General Patton, my go-to sandwich. So good. Everybody's sandwiches. How about at one point, your entire table
It was one
was
of my favorite parts of the night.
rotating
There were
sandwiches.
6 of us rotating 6 different sandwiches, and each time we each took a bite, we were like,
This is good.
it was so good.
They're rotating sandwiches. I walked in and I saw a girl who I'm like, she kind of looks familiar. And she kind of had like a weird glow about her. And I was like, that's kind of strange. Didn't pay nothing of it. You know, sometimes you see people and you're like, oh, that's just like a magnetic person, whatever.
Sure.
Every time I see you. And so I'm like, okay, let's just do that. I go order my sandwich. I eat later than everybody. Everybody had already ate, done their thing. We're back inside chatting it up, having a few brews. So I get done with my sandwich and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go burn one outside real quick. Go outside. First off, there's a girl out there and a dude. They don't know each other, but the girl's hammered. And she's standing over the fire pit and the flames are just licking the bottom of her coat. And I'm like, you got to get away from the fire. You are going to catch on fire. She's like, I'm wasted, man. I'm like, are your friends here? Or like, is anyone here? Like, my car is right. I'm kidding. So I introduced her to Seth.
My car's parked over there where there's under that
My wife's
street
listening. I love
light.
you, honey.
That's
These
busted
are
out.
jokes. And then Seth took her. No, I'm joking. So we're out there. The flames are licking her coat. She gets out of the way. Some other guy comes out there. I'm like, okay, this is great. He's got a pen. I'm wearing my medicinal marijuana shirt. He's like, great shirt. What are the rules here in Missouri? And I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm pretty well versed. Start talking about it. He's like, I'm from Colorado. And I'm like, okay. That's awesome. He's like, yeah, you ever heard of a band called Devotchka? We're in town. We were in Nashville last night. And I'm like, Devotchka? Yeah, they had a great CD, Little Miss Sunshine.
They did the whole entire
The
The
Little Miss
soundtrack
Sunshine.
was unreal.
Sounds like a German sex.
I thought
I
said
kinda like them.
it means girl or something in
Oh,
Russian.
I think that you would actually like them.
They're yeah,
Give
they-
They had a kind of a Cure vibe. to
I
them
would
a little bit.
agree. I would agree after hearing
okay. I'm
a
down.
good Cure vibe.
I'll look them up on the Google machine.
They were a mix. It was weird. It was a mix between like
the harmonies,
like,
man.
between the Cure and Radiohead and the National, and also like this gypsy sound. It was really neat. You'd
I
like
just
it.
got a simi.
Yeah, I think you would like
it.
it.
It's pretty cool and just magical music. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't heard about them in a while, but you know, they're not my favorite band. They were for a minute. I put them on every CD. You know what I mean? I was like, hey,
Yeah.
these guys are great. You got to listen to this song. So he's like, hey, you ever heard of the band The Lumineers? And I'm like, buddy, they're top 3 band for me. Like every time I bust out my guitar,
Just behind
Lumineers.
21 Pilots.
21 Pilots, Fun, Lumineers. Okay, those are my
That's
bands.
a terrible
Those are my bands.
list.
I love them. Shut up.
Go ahead with your awesome story.
So Lumineers, he's like, you ever heard of them? Yeah, my fave, bud. He goes, yeah, the girls from the Lumineers inside.
And she's like half the reason why you love the Lumineers.
I used to watch all their videos and I'm like, this cellist, like she's just a thing of beauty. You know what I mean? Beautiful voice, beautiful girl, like just, you know, as a man, you're like, oh
Sure.
man, that's just an awesome art. It's art. It's an
A
artist.
captivating artist.
For sure,
Sure.
man. Always, all Lumineers. I'm like, dude, all the instruments and the soul they play with, and like the tiny concert, the KDHX, love it. He's like, dude, she's inside. I'm like, no, she's not. Yeah, dude, she's inside. I'm like, well, I had already dropped that I was on the radio a few times, obviously. And so he's like, I got to introduce you to my tour manager. Go in there. He's like, hey, Neela, this is Steve. He's a big fan. And I'm like, yeah.
You were starstruck.
I love you. I don't know. Your music's good. I was like, I couldn't really get
You're like
the words
Chris
out.
Farley show.
I couldn't do it.
Remember that time?
Awesome.
I was like, I watch your videos online. And I didn't want to bring the Lumineers up because he said maybe there was a rift there or
Yeah,
something.
okay.
I was like, I don't know. That's speculation. Allegedly. Everything's good
What
now.
if you just got real nervous, shake her hand, you're like, you're my biggest fan.
Yeah, I was
You
like,
just
I
know you're
desperately want to
talking
make love to a
backwards.
schoolboy.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, I did it. And so she's like, you want to take a picture and
It's
get a
solid
hug?
Dumb and Dumber reference.
The guy she's with, who is, I don't know what his deal was. I asked him to take the picture, and he's like, why don't you just take a selfie? And I'm like, A,
Okay, guy.
you're a jackal. B, get in the pic, you jackal. So I was like, get in here. And so he gets in there while I position the camera. So he is off cam when it's just me and her on this selfie cam now.
That's true.
And I'm like, I got the bill of his hat in there. I'm like, yeah, you want to play games with me, fella? Not tonight. Not tonight. Not ever. And so I make an idiot of myself. I'm mumbling. I kind of played into it because I was like, I want you to know how starstruck I am. I'm literally amazed. I never thought I would meet you of all people. Like, this is unreal. And so I go tell my wife, and she's like, where is she? I'm like, either she wants to fight her or she wants to meet her. Maybe a little bit of both. And she could see the look on my face like,
You were wearing it.
and so she goes back over there. Neela's nice enough to take another picture with us. It was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the night, everyone's like, you okay, man? I'm like, oh,
You were walking around punch drunk.
I was floating. I wasn't even taking any steps.
For real, you look like Morticia walking around.
It was so cool.
It
dude.
was so
Just
cool.
so neat.
I
All
kinda-
the things.
I kind of want to let's pick up a little bit the second chapter of that story on the other side of the
Yeah.
break, 'cause we are up against it, sir.
We are up.
Can I
against
read
it.
a couple comments from all of our
Sure,
fans?
real
Yeah.
quick.
Ricky's here. Ricky said, don't forget Monday, Steve. We're going to do maybe a little bit of BJJ Brazilian
Little rolling.
Jiu-Jitsu. Jason Roberts says, what's up? Matt
up?
Reeves says, what's up? Joe, Jason, Matt. No, me too. They're not all bad. Talking about cats from earlier. It really looks good on you. I have on Matt Reeser's hat. Gramophone is the best. We got a lot of quotes about how awesome
Well,
Gramophone is here.
We gotta
Send
get
him an
them
invoice.
Yeah, send him an invoice. No doubt.
Sauce on the side right next to it is also really, really good.
Is that what people are saying?
This is amazing.
You know what
Everyone's
place is the
getting-
best of all of them? It's Parlor STL. What a
Party.
great little spot to hold such an awesome party for everybody to get down in the Grove and get involved in the city. Guys, we're up against it. I love your comments. We'll talk about them later. It's not about you. It's not about you this time, okay? It's about us for 2 hours a week. Can we just get you to pay attention just one time? This is
We
been
like
fun.
all
We're
your stupid
condescending, Craig.
memes.
This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU 920 AM. We'll see you on the other side of the break. You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risk of everyday life. And that's exactly what James Carlton State Farm does. He's also dangerously handsome. He has the dreamiest eyes.
James Carlton has the best customer service in the game. You'll never get a voicemail, and you'll always get a great back rub.
He has the softest hands. A strong sense of community is important to who he is as an agent. From local school sponsorships to sandbagging during floods, it's paramount to be a part of the community. We love the cut of his jib.
Guys, call 314-961-4800. Find him online at carltoninsurance.net.
We wish he was our dad.
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I've been pretty good.
Well, that's good. Hey, you heard anything about them newfangled hemp oils they got now?
I just don't know where to find a good one.
Well, I find the best full spectrum hemp oil from MomedCanco.com.
Where?
I get it from MomedCanco.com.
Is it expensive?
It don't cost 2 kittens whiskers. And if you enter HOSO in the promo box, you're going to get yourself 15% off.
Buddy, it sounds like we're squatting tall cotton.
Darn right we are.
Where can I find them?
You can find them online, MomedCanco.com, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
It lasts a lifetime.
Come on.
It lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
And just go Google it. I wanna let those shingles down, girl, for you. I wanna let those shingles down, boy, for you. I'm gonna do some siding, get you excited. James Hardy siding. Google it.
Roof up for a lifetime. You know I make your neighbors cry. Boo. Cause we tell all them leaks go bye. And you know we all do the side. James Hardy boy, yeah.
Guys, Lifetime Roofing. They're the best roofers in the game. Best customer service. LifetimeSTL.com. Google them.
A diamond is forever. You know what? Fuck that. A tattoo, that's forever. A piece of art that represents something you're passionate about, a loved one, a memory, or maybe just some really cool design you want to be part of your body for life. Stop by Tower Classic Tattooing in the Grove and let one of their artists take your idea from your heart, soul, and mind and bring it to your skin. From the drawing table to the application itself, these artists hit a home run in every aspect of tattooing. Any style, any size, color, black and gray, doesn't matter, they got you covered. Got the itch to get inked? Check out their artist profiles at towerclassic.com. Tower Classic Tattoo, located at 4146 Manchester in the Grove.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system. This has been a test of the emergency alert system. Had this been an actual emergency, you would have been instructed where to tune for further information. WGNU serves the metropolitan St. Louis area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system.
Hey there, sophisticated Hoosiers. Have you been to our website? Visit HoosierSophisticate.com and listen to our uncensored podcast. Share some laughs with us. Send us fan mail so we can feel warm and special. Buy our merchandise so that we can eat. Wear your Hoosier Sophisticate t-shirt at social gatherings and let the women approach you. Wear it around the office and get that big promotion instead of Ted. That's right. Screw Ted. Ted sucks. That's HoosierSophisticate.com.
In order to get the principle of a network across, I have to convey to you an idea which is extremely simple, but which is difficult to grasp only because we're not used to it. We are used to thinking as Westerners, as having a certain kind of language, and therefore a certain kind of logic that goes with it. We're used to thinking of the world in terms of the game of billiards. In other words, we are still thinking about our psychology, our bodies, and their relationship to the outside world in terms of what would scientifically be called Newtonian mechanics.
You're live with Stephen Elgin and Craig Kohler. This is Hoosier Sophisticate Radio, everybody. Presented by Mycelio Media. Let's chill, St. Louis.
Oh, this is a good show. Seth, Seth and Integrity, you guys work some magic, my friends. That was awesome. God, guys, check out the Mycelio Media YouTube page. That's the little parent company, Hoosier Sophisticate here. Steve, you were telling a great story. You got to meet one of your musical idols Friday night when everybody was kind enough to come out and have a good time. I mean, there were people that traveled in town. You know, Seth had some buddies come in. Corey Gray bought some buddies. We had, I mean, it was a
shout
nice
out to
little
Scott Marshall, who took a train for like, what, 3 hours or something?
Doubt.
Took a train to our live event.
To and fro.
What's your rest of your excuses?
Yeah, the guy took a train from Illinois.
He just showed up.
It was
awesome.
It was awesome. We were passing a gin bucket around. We just had a good old time.
Oh God, we did that again.
We did that.
We didn't learn our lesson.
It was really yummy. It was good.
It's actually quite delicious.
But then
that's what's so dangerous.
That place is
it's
so
like a
poppin'.
Capri Sun. You can just keep sipping it, and all of a sudden
I'm
you're like,
not
"Oh,
a
I
gin
can't
guy.
walk. This is great."
I am not a gin guy. Typically, I'm not a fan of
I had
alcohols made of berries and sugars. Not a fan.
So you can't walk. Pretty soon you'll be dragging yourself behind your own car, dragging yourself out of a rascal. Remember that story?
Oh, that was hilarious.
Should I tell it again?
Yes, in just a minute. You sure can. Guys, this first hour is brought to you by James Carlton State Farm. I love him. I love him. CarltonInsurance.net, 314-961-4800. You can buy insurance anywhere. Why not buy it from the person that's going to treat you like your family and give you the best customer experience you can possibly have when shopping for insurance? 314-961-4800, CarltonInsurance.net. I'll tell you what, if you let him give you a quote, he's going to donate money back to Webster Groves High School. The guy's involved in the community. I believe he's the president of the Rotary Club out in Webster Groves. He's just always giving back. Where does he find the time? I don't know. Check out James Carlton State Farm. He makes the first hour possible.
It's easy. You just got to picture it as Craig as his newborn swaddling son.
And he's carrying me into a party, and then some jackal kicks a soccer ball from 40 yards away. But instead of it hitting my face, James goes, "Ah!"
That's it. And I'm the wife. And I'm so turned on by what James just did to save our baby that I must have him right then and there.
Check out CarltonInsurance.net, 314-961-4800. Makes first hour possible. We're out of parlor. We're having a good time. We're playing NBA Jam. We're getting our pinball on. The place is popping so much. And just shout out to their mixologists there, their bartenders.
Wow.
Those people know how to mix up some spirits.
Man, they're
great. The music's always on point. Am I crazy here? But it feels like, we're in our mid-30s, boys. I know Seth and I are probably the most 90s nostalgic of us in the room.
Yeah. I mean, he likes 21 Pilots, so it's like you just
it's not
left
just,
everything behind.
But like their music, it just seems like the vibe is built for me. Like the stuff that was, you know what I mean? Like the pop culture in the posters around the place and the old school music. Like it's just kind of, and that to me is like, there's a couple of spots in the Grove that kind of do that for me. I like it. I feel at home.
It's a cool
I'm not the
vibe.
oldest guy in the bar, right? It's a fun time. Check out Parlor STL in the Grove. They're awesome.
Yeah, and it doesn't have that kid like, "Hey, I'm a bro. Better not talk to my girlfriend or I'll smack you in the mouth, bro."
I got my hat
backwards as far back as it can go. And my Blues jersey, I'll punch things.
I wear a Callaway hat.
I'll throw a punch at you if I don't like you.
I got a Callaway hat on and a shirt with a flower of life on it.
Yeah,
And
those
a
will keep those
sweet
guys away. But listen,
bolo
if you
tie.
didn't get a chance to come out and hang out with us on Friday, there were so many people there we probably didn't even notice you missing. But you will have a chance to hang out with us there again on February 24th because we are doing Hoosier Tattoo Day. And we got over a dozen people that have sent in art. Then we're just going to hang out at Tower Classic Tattooing in the Grove. Lovely sponsors of this show. Amazing tattoo artists. They're tied in with Parlor as well. So we're going to go back and forth between Parlor and Tower Classic while everybody's getting tattooed. And we're going to be able to share a really fun day together. Come on out February 24th. If you haven't RSVP'd, please do so and send art to HoosierSophisticate@gmail.com. We'll get it over to Sean and the boys, and we'll get this whole thing lined out, and we're going to have a grandiose time February 24th down in the Grove. Now, Steve, we needed some food. People were famished. We went and got some sandwiches. You go outside for a little smoky smoke. A guy sees your shirt. He says, hey, he says he's with Devachka. And then he says, hey, do you like the Lumineers? Do you like the Lumineers? And you go, my God, I love the Lumineers more than the air that I breathe. What do you know about the Lumineers? He's like, the gal is inside. She is in there right now. You got to go meet her. So you go inside and you are just given the opportunity you never thought you were going to get. Awesome story.
Magic.
So then I come out shortly thereafter. You're hanging out and you're like, hey, dude, this guy's a bassist for the gal from the Lumineers new project. Like, you got to come meet him, man. He wants to, we're talking about the show and everything. Like, I need my wingman.
Help.
So I came out there and we got to talking, and he's also had quite a bit of success in the cannabis industry.
Yeah.
He's an award winner at the Cannabis Cup and in competitions in Holland, in the Netherlands. Like, and then he decided to quit that to pursue music, and he was just slapping a bass, you know.
I know.
And he loved the story because, guys, if you don't know Steve and I that well, if a tune comes on the radio that's just got a little groove, you know, I'm a big fan of the air instruments. But without fail,
I've been caught at a few traffic lights by strangers jamming
that.
out a little air drum, and you're like,
thing I love.
I just keep going.
I love, that would make my day. If I saw you air drumming, it would make my day.
You gotta own it, or else you're even dumber. If you're like, you put your invisible sticks down, like, never mind.
Dude, I'm working the kick drum, even though nobody can see it. I'm working the kick drum.
I'll put it in park so you can.
You got a double kick.
I got
if you drive a stick shift, put it neutral. You do a little double bass.
But without fail, when a good tune comes on and Steve and I are riding together here, and we both go to the bass. Just, it doesn't matter. We need a guitarist.
Yeah, we do.
We need a trumpet player.
Yeah.
We need a pianist.
We're two bassists
we
right
need
now.
a drummer, but right now we're just taking this little bass for a walk. And it's just where we're living. And so when we told this guy that, he was like, are you guys serious? You guys are the coolest guys we've met.
No, he didn't go that far.
New Orleans.
But I did. Oh, yeah, he did say that.
He's
He
like,
actually
we've been
did
traveling
say
around. We just came from Nashville. You guys are
He
the
did say
realest
that.
dudes that I've met.
He did say
And
that.
I'm like, right on, man. Well,
Yeah.
we're glad to meet you too. And he's like, you guys want to go see a show? Sure do.
Yeah,
So Steve and I, we think we're important. So we're like, yeah, man, we're gonna bring our gear. We're gonna get we're gonna get the scoop on what's the story with Neil Pekaric. You know, we're gonna get the scoop. So we go out to Fubar, and let me just say, one of the things we talk about with the show is bringing the entire community together. Southsiders, Northsiders, Midtowners, like we want to bring
everywhere but
together.
St. Charles.
Everywhere but St. Charles. Go there. Anyway, so we go down. Fubar, it's on Locust. I'm 34 years old, Steve. Now, I haven't lived here. I didn't live here for a long time. And when I moved back, I've moved way south. So I'm not getting downtown a whole lot. When I do.
Well, that's not even really downtown.
No, it's really not.
Midtown, maybe.
Midtown for sure.
Flew, yeah.
Yeah. So we go down there, and that area is really pretty foreign to me. I love it. We go down there.
And then right in the middle of that beautiful area is this punk rock metal bar.
Really?
Wait, what is it? Is that
Fubar?
Oh,
yeah.
Literally.
Well, and that was what was interesting, I think. Well, it's funny you say that because when I looked at all of the music posters and everything, it seemed like it was a lot of punk bands and stuff that played.
Yeah.
And so these bands were definitely, I wouldn't put them in the punk genre. You know?
Well,
there's all kinds of
anymore
shows.
these days, if you play instruments, you don't just like make noises with knobs.
I get it. And I got to say, with these two acts,
you're invited to Fubar.
I'm a big fan of I like the Ready Room down in the Grove, Fubar. I like those little
my
small
favorite in this
those little
town.
small venues, man, where you can really get up on a band and hear how great and tight they are. And so it was a thing I love. One of the things I love is going to see a band that I know the gal from the Lumineers. That's all I really know. Devachka, I'd heard of him, but I didn't really know him.
Yeah.
And be just completely captivated by the show. Her album was cool. She's going back to Colorado now.
The whole
because
theme.
It's a whole entire rock opera.
Yeah.
Basically, folk opera.
Yeah. A woman who fought off 160 rattlesnakes
Kate.
to save her kids? Or
Yeah,
something?
it was her and the kids, and a swarm of rattlesnakes came down, and she killed them all dead.
That was wild.
So the whole album tells the story of Rattlesnake Kate, and she was great. Huge range, vocal range.
Oh, highest note maybe I've ever heard hit live.
For real.
Killed
No
it,
doubt about
dude.
it. It's great. Check it out. Neil Peck record. Really
Rattlesnake
terrific.
is the name of the
And
album.
so we're thinking, hey, we're maybe go backstage with these guys. We're on the list, because like when we went in, Steve's like, I'm on the list +1.
Yeah.
I've
always wanted to say this.
You guys like, is this your +1? And he's like, you're darn tootin'. Yeah. So we
I
go
always
in there.
point to my crotch.
Well, Craig had his
Me
hand in my
+1.
back pocket.
Yeah, no, I
and
was
vice
holding his
versa.
pocket like we were
Like
in maximum
prison style?
security
Yeah.
prison.
Hey,
I
I'll
was
give
holding
him
his pocket, making
carton
him
of
lead me
cigarettes.
around.
Not bad.
For real. That's what was going on. So we go in there. We have a blast. Little tight quarters. We get a couple of beers. We're hanging out. They go on stage. Terrific band, man. The drummer was killing it.
The drummer and the bassist.
Yes.
The drummer was flipping his sticks, and him and the bassist are like,
Yep.
yeah, they're
just
always
getting-
buddies.
That's how it
dude.
always is,
Yeah.
right? So they put on a terrific show. Bassist comes out. He's apologetic from the get-go. He's like, dude, sometimes we get to hang around. We were already here last night. We got to blow out of here, get to Kansas City. We're heading back to Colorado. She's got, it's going to be a play.
Yeah.
It's on stage. She's the star or whatever. So whatever, they have to blow out of there. We hang out with them. We smoke square out in the front, and we go back inside for Devotchka. Buddy, thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for making that acquaintance. Thanks for getting us into the show. It
was awesome.
Because it was one of the best live shows I've ever seen. They had a tuba player who also played the stand-up bass, who also played the flute.
Also played the regular bass.
Also played the electric bass. They had
the skin flute.
They had a keyboard player who was switching back and forth between the electric bass and the keyboard.
And they
had an
switch even
accordion
those.
player who was switching between that and the fiddle. This band was off the charts.
They had a guitarist who we're thinking maybe the guy who boned his wife or girlfriend was in the crowd, because I swear to God,
Oh, same guy. That's the piano player, bass
You're
player.
only gonna get this if you're watching this live, but he's playing. And he's like,
he's just scanning the room and
I'm like, Craig, do you know this
No,
guy? Or?
no, I guarantee you, he gave some kid money for drugs, and he
he's
never
looking
came
for
back.
him.
And he's like, I know he has a ticket, so he's got to be in here.
Oh, that's awesome. That
Yeah,
is
I
the
get-
look he had.
That
that is
is.
very
I
much the look.
guarantee-
it was a look of concern, but he was jamming.
Oh, he was rocking.
He
They
was
can
jamming.
all rock.
The lead
out,
singer,
dude.
I was so impressed with them, and they appear to be older, and like that's what it was, a very
they're
fresh sound. I mean,
50,
I made 40s. I'm gonna say solid 40s,
okay.
but like good looking bunch.
Totally.
Good looking bunch, great sound. It's kind of got this little gypsy folk vibe, but then they'll go into like kind of an electronica. If you're familiar with the National or whatever, the guy has very long, drawn out, kind of a somber voice, but he's got serious range. He's a
Morrissey
whistler.
kind of thing.
Morrissey a little bit, but a little more upbeat than the Smiths.
Yeah.
I think.
There's some melancholy
yeah,
there,
for
but
sure.
it's
A lot of
also
melancholy.
major
I like that.
I
chords.
think you would like it, man. I think
They'll
you would
play
like
like 3 major chords and just play them the whole time, and they'll hit you with a wall of sounds
Yes.
from each instrument. The first song they played, the 2 electric guitars going like,
Yep.
and
And
it just kept getting louder
Yep.
and louder. You didn't know what sound was coming from what instrument, and it was magical. I usually am not that huge of a fan if I go to a concert and I don't know more than 3 or 4 songs, and I can't sing. I'm like, oh,
that.
but if
One
a
was
band,
dance music, though.
I was like, I could dance. If we could fill that place with Hoosiers, it would have been a dance party.
And because it had kind of a Spanish flamenco,
yeah.
like so there were some people like every now and then they would have like these flamenco vibes, and people would be just kind of salsaing out in the crowd. It was really cool, man. It was a lot of fun.
Flamenco.
It was a lot of weird stuff going on there. They dropped like a new album in August, and man, it's good. I'm so glad that we came across it. So I want to talk about something that I shared this week. We like to talk about not only cannabis, but we like to talk about where psychedelics are finding their way into the pharmacopoeia. And so an FDA panel recommended a new depression treatment this past week. So in a move that may clear the way for the first new treatment in years for depression, an expert panel recommended on Tuesday that federal regulators approve a nasal spray that delivers the active ingredients of ketamine, a popular club drug in the 80s and 90s. The new drug, called esketamine and developed by Johnson & Johnson, is aimed at people with severe depression, particularly those with suicidal thinking. The panel,
Johnson & Johnson?
well, that's
Wow.
wild, right?
Oh, yeah. Hey.
The panel, with 17 voting members, including psychiatrists and consumer representatives, was nearly unanimous in deciding that the drug's benefits outweighed its risks. The Food and Drug Administration typically follows the recommendations of its expert panels. In recent years, scores of clinics have opened around the country offering to administer intravenous ketamine for depression on a schedule similar to that of electroshock therapy, as a series of treatments over a period of days or weeks, and sometimes including follow-up or booster visits a month later. These treatments, at an average cost of $3,000, are officially off-label and usually not covered by insurance. Their effectiveness is not well studied, although people who have received the course of treatment have reported rapid, if not always lasting, relief. If approved, esketamine would be covered by most insurers.
Really? Wow. Craig, I've never done K.
I have not. I have not
for
myself.
it.
Yeah.
So I can't really expound upon it like I can maybe psilocybin or
Sure.
LSD. But what I've seen, and even talking with, I believe, Matt, from Shock to Awe, I'm blanking
Matt
on
Call?
Matt Call. He was posting a little bit on the Veterans for Natural Rights. I see it popping up a lot more often now.
Yes.
And we got to get the taboo away from all
That's
of
just
these
it.
drugs. The party drug of the 80s and 90s.
Isn't that funny how they throw that in there?
Wow, man. It's
And I have no real world experience with it. I am under the impression that it's a bit more of like a downer psychedelic, in the sense that I shouldn't say downer. It's supposed more like a drunk, but it's very euphoric, right? But I have heard a ton of people. There was a really captivating video that went viral maybe a year ago of a father whose both of his children committed suicide. And this dude he's wearing a red shirt. It's a Canadian guy. And he had nothing left to live for, and this video kind of chronicles his, he telling his psychiatrist, like, I have no will to live, and they start with these intravenous ketamine experiences and completely change his life, completely turn him around. Now he goes and empowers people that have these thoughts. So while I don't have
He's
firsthand
addicted to sticking K up his butt now, isn't he? I knew it.
I knew it.
Parachuting.
So I think that we should all be open to having these conversations. We try to bring it up on this show because I want people talking about it.
Yeah.
There's a whole, like I said, we want to make things a part of the pharmacopoeia. We talk about, we don't need people's permission to save our life. And if you are at wit's end, or if you're terminal, if you're dying and you're just riddled with anxiety and fear, there are substances that are out there that are known to not only make you comfortable with your mortality, but to ease that depression, show you maybe a little bit of happiness, make you feel a little bit better about where you stand in the world for however long you're going to be standing here. We got to be open to that. If we are really empathetic to our brothers and sisters, if we really care about a great quality of life, then we have to be open to the idea that sometimes we don't need permission to experience with our consciousness, to try and fix things that the standard channels are not fixing. And so if you find yourself depressed, look it up. There's actually I found there's a ketamine clinic here in St. Louis. There are people that are offering this help. If you feel as though you're suicidal, I feel helpless when I see somebody that you can see is like on the brink of depression. You want to tell them, hey, I'm here for you. I want to talk to you, or I'm here to talk to you, but what am I going to say?
Yeah.
I want them to know how
listen.
I want them to know how valued they are. Yeah, you sit there and listen, but even then,
I know
you feel helpless in that you don't have that magic answer for
what can I say to fix this?
There's nothing, man. Not necessarily. You just got to let people
know.
know.
Whip it out and let people know.
That's what you
They
do.
see it and they're like, I got integrity again. That's all I needed. No.
So, guys, ketamine is being used. It's being recommended by an FDA panel. Psilocybin is in stage 2, I think. MDMA is in stage 3, I believe. Cannabis is oddly enough legal in some states, but it's actually further behind them in studies. We have to be open to the idea that these different substances have a way of making us see things differently, that it's really hard to put into language. It's really hard to verbalize what things do for you and how they might give you a better outlook on life. And so the conversation, you have questions about it, seek them out. Typically, people that have experience are happy to share what they can. I think we'll make serious change like that.
We had a group of moms come up to us after the Shock and Awe event, and it was one of the most powerful conversations I've had with a group of 8 ladies who are out there trying to help their sons, nephews, husbands. I didn't even hear all the stories, but they're looking for anything. They're listening to Joe Rogan. They're listening to Aubrey Marcus. They're researching Ibogaine. When we told them, we were saying certain keywords, they were writing them down with notes in their phone. People are out there searching for this stuff. We've come to a point where we realize that there's not a fix-it-all pill. There's a pill that you can take and maybe forget about it for a little while and never really address the underlying issues of why you're maybe feeling that way. But there are medicines out there, and they're out there, but they're hidden because they've been talked down about for so long. Sure. And it's wild that I believe MAPS had some of their first studies were due because they said, these are untreatable patients anymore. We've given them the max amount of antidepressants and it's just not working. They're untreatable. Sorry. And if it wasn't for anyone else stepping up with these new ideas and opening these new horizons, those people are just like, okay, I'm untreatable. See you later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Michael, Seth pulled some audio a couple weeks ago, and Michael Pollan was saying, in the 40s and 50s, we were making serious strides with LSD, with psilocybin in psychiatric medicine. That's what it was developed for, MDMA. And then the war on drugs happened, and it became a taboo to even talk about it. What could people possibly be getting from it? Look at all those people having fun. It's not medicine.
Yeah, I know. Hey, let me ask you. We got into a
medicine's not fun.
I know. We got into just like work. We got into some heated debates, which I thought were some of the most cordial the internet has ever seen. I thought they were intelligent. I thought they were good. I mean, they got a little dirty at times, but we're not perfect.
Not too dirty. Human. Some people got a little chippy, but really it was a solid conversation.
As far as what you see on the internet, it was great. Yeah. But I think a different thread, we're talking about maybe, does alcohol have a place? Does it have any efficacy as a medicine?
Oh, I think so.
Explain that.
I mean, that's the only thing they had in the old West was a bottle of whiskey. If you had glasses and a bottle of whiskey, you were a doctor.
Are we talking like just for pain management?
Oh, I think pain management is definitely a thing, but I also believe that like an alcohol can be made with intention, just like a shaman would sit over a brew of ayahuasca and pray over it. I do believe that there's something to that with using nature's ingredients and using a natural sugar mash, and all of a sudden you have some of that healing moonshine, and like it'll A, lift your spirits. It'll B, maybe numb some pain. I do think it's most easily abused, but yeah, I think anything can be, anything like that can kind of be taken as a, if your back's kind of aching a little bit, alcohol is going to lube you up. It's going to,
chill out a little bit, a glass of wine before bed.
Sure.
And then there's like the external use. Obviously, you get cut, take a little bit of vodka,
clean it up.
You can clean a cut with some vodka.
Can you only do it with clear vodka or clear boozes though?
No, yeah, I don't know that you would want to pour some sugar booze in there, but I guess you could.
You can get a little Tennessee whiskey.
Well, that brings me to a cannabis news story. What about is it in California where that 5 milligram beer is now?
Yeah, I think it was Colorado actually.
Colorado, yeah, that's kind of an interesting deal.
Well, what's neat about it is the guy that started the company. I think it's Sarah, something like that. He's got a PhD in brewing. What have I been doing my whole life?
I know.
Got a PhD in brewing from a university in Brussels.
You have doctor in front of your name. It's like, what are you a doctor of?
Beer.
Are you a dermatologist? Are you a scientist? Paleoanthropologist? I brew beer.
I brew beer, boy.
I get people.
This guy was the founder of Blue Moon. So it's since sold Blue Moon. And now he moved on to more craft things. So he had the whole. Blue Moon is.
I go back and forth.
I'm not a big fan. I don't like wheat beers, but that's neither here nor there. Like it's like this highest selling craft beer, quote unquote, on the market. And so he got out of that, he sold out of that, and then he's started this. Now they pull all the alcohol. I believe O'Fallon Brewery actually brews the non-alcoholic beer for them, and then they infuse CBD. So I think each beer has or not CBD, it's actually full spectrum, it's THC and everything, so each one has 5 milligrams I think of THC, and which we had a fan say that ain't gonna get your cat high. Well, when I drink beer, like one beer don't get me drunk either, but a 6-pack will get me, so I think it's kind of neat. I think you're going to see all kinds of things. People are going to make all kinds of foods and drinks and
I can't wait for the restaurants. I can't wait for a high-end cannabis restaurant where you're getting a can of butter on your steak.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a dessert that has some in it, maybe a nice canna leaf rolled thing at the end to kind of just set the night on fire.
I look at it from a capitalist point of view. I'll make some some treats maybe someday.
Sure.
Open my own little cafe.
Little bake
I'd love
shop.
to do something like that, but I do not like eating it.
I'm not a fan either. I'm
not.
I'm not a fan of
I like to
ingested
control
cannabis.
each level as I go. I don't like. I ate it. Let's see what happens.
And for
if
me,
I'm gonna do that,
for me, it's not the same thing either. It doesn't
Yeah.
have the same
Seth,
psychoactive effects for me.
You could open up a little edible,
Mhm.
place that makes little treats, and you call it the Cure, and it's a theme where you're
A
always
cure-themed bake shop.
Yeah,
You put that sucker in the loop, I will clean up.
I know, dude.
I love
Or
it.
like maybe Cherokee or something.
I'm
For
having a lot of
sure.
fun, guys, but
No.
Oh, wait.
No.
yeah, we're up
Are you
against it.
bet? No.
We are up against it. Let's jump to a quick break. On the other side, we'll maybe we'll go down in the. Do we have a rabbit hole?
We're going to go down the rabbit hole for just a minute. We got
baby.
a couple of topics we're going to hit on real
We got some
quick.
rabbit hole. We're going to do a little bit
two
of cannabis news, and then we'll hit you with some streaming picks. Guys, thank you for following along. This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU 920 AM. We'll see you on the other side of the break. You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risk of everyday life. And that's exactly what James Carlton State Farm does. He's also dangerously handsome. He has the dreamiest eyes.
James Carlton has the best customer service in the game. You'll never get a voicemail, and you'll always get a great back rub.
A strong sense of community is important to who he is as an agent. From local school sponsorships to sandbagging during floods, it's paramount to be a part of the community. We love the cut of his jib.
Guys, call 314-961-4800.
Wish he was our dad.
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, bud?
Pretty good.
Think about them newfangled hemp now? I just don't. Well, I find the best full spectrum oil from where? I get it at Camco.com. It don't cost. It's in the promo box. Sale 15%.
It sounds like we're squatting tall cotton.
Don't.
Where can I find them?
Online. Medical Cannabis Company.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah. Jill.
Google it. Those shingles down for you. Those shingles down, boy. I'm gonna get you James Hardy's. Google it.
You know I make your neighbors because we tell all them leaks go by the side.
Guys, Lifetime Roofing, they're the best roofing customers come. Google them.
Diamond is forever. You know what? Tattoo, that piece of art that represents something you're passionate about, a loved one, a memory, or maybe just some really cool design you want to be part of your buffer life. Stop by Tower Class Grove and let one of their artists take your idea from your heart, soul, and mind and bring it to your skin. From the drawing table to the application itself, these artists hit a home run in every aspect of tattooing. Gray, doesn't matter, they got you. Check out their artist profiles at towerclassic.com. At Manchester in the Grove.
Hey there, is it Hoosier Sophisticate? Listen to our share some laughs with us. Send us a warm dice so that we can wear your Hoosier Sophisticate at social gatherings and let the women approach. Wear it around the office instead of Ted. Right? Screw Ted's. That's Hoosier Sophisticate.
Listen, insurance is not something you want to gamble on.
Now, what my associate's trying to say is that James Carlton State Farm is really cool. You're not even going to believe it. Like, let's say you're driving along on the road with your family, and you're driving along, patch of ice, can't quite stop, boom, you bump into the guy next to you. James Carlton's got somebody out there ready to take care of you 24/7. You call them at 314-961-4800. Now, here's what happens with the other guy's insurance. You're driving along, kids are in the backseat. Daddy, I got to go to the bathroom. Not now, damn it. Ice. You can't stop. Here comes the adjuster. Adjuster gets out. He says, oh, my God. New guy's in the corner puking his guts out. All because you want to save a couple extra pennies. To me, it just doesn't make much sense.
Guys, check out carltoninsurance.net, 314-961-4800. If your insurance is costing you a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
There are few things I miss more about being a kid than hitting up the arcade with a sack of quarters. Now enjoy that same experience as an adult, but with the full bar at Parlor STL in the Grove. A classic neighborhood bar and arcade featuring 14 of your favorite old school arcade games, plus pinball, skee ball, and pool. Stay fly and step out back for some fried chicken from the Nug Shack. Games, food, an insane cocktail menu, and a dynamic patio. This place has everything. Parlor, located at 4170 Manchester in the Grove. Plan your next event or party at Parlor. Visit parlorstl.com.
Technology has evolved so quickly that the people running capitalism from the top no longer understand the tools that are necessary for it. They have to pay guys with ponytails and piercings to turn on the machines every morning. And that must be very terrifying to them.
Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU with your hosts, Craig Kohler and Stephen Elgin. Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to Hoosier Sophisticate here on WGNU920am.com. You can stream us live on Facebook at Hoosier Sophisticate. Join our fan page, Sophisticated Hoosiers. We have a lot of fun in there. It might be. It is.
Oh, those T-shirts will be available eventually.
We're going to put them up for sale online, and we'll make it's a one-time order.
So everybody that pre-ordered, they are on the way. We haven't forgot about you.
We have not forgot about you.
And it may be a sex cult.
I have no money from you. You haven't heard anything. Steve,
we technically we don't even have to do it. So,
Steve, do we have are our fans interacting at all?
Yeah, up here we call them the Parlor text lines, as you can get at us on Facebook and on YouTube, and 314-880-0808. Corey G says the music at Parlor is amazing. Jenny says, Seth, stop ragging on the 21 Pilots.
I read that. No. Okay.
I'm not.
Lucas says, I'm Victor Wooten on Airbase.
Lucas Welch. And I will tell you, I've seen Lucas Welch play live on the bass.
Yeah?
A nifty 250. Awesome band, baby. Shout out. And Lucas and the rest of the fellas.
He'll take that bass for a
every
walk,
time.
Huh?
Every day. One of the best as far as bands in that size, like your local bands go, they killed it on stage.
With the bass.
Great
too.
live show.
I like a good slap. I like a good thumb slap. That
Lucas will slap.
But
Victor Wooten is the one that did that.
Is he?
He did Seinfeld's riff.
No.
Really?
Did he also do the mouth noises? I thought it was Flea.
I like the
assumed it was Flea.
Boom, 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 boom. You like with a deep bass, and they're just taking you for a ride, baby.
I love it. Little Eric from Sublime.
Jackie, Ryan, Kevin, Jenna, Leon. Welcome to Hoosier Sophisticate Radio.
Steph.
Curry.
Hey, Steph.
What up? We got Steph Curry in studio. What's up? What's it like playing basketball?
I like to float.
I like floating. Hey, let's go down the rabbit hole, fella.
Do we got some rabbit hole music? I forgot to say anything, but I think he'll be ready anyway.
The rabbit hole.
Just waiting for the page to load.
Okay. I'm eating carrots.
We've talked about the Space Force on the show before, right?
Yeah, I believe so, back in the day.
And there's a new article, an update, because we thought that was just so, because Trump was talking about it. It's like, hey, dude, why would you need a Space Force? I don't even know what a Space Force is. Like, the closest thing anybody's ever heard of it, we talk about early 80s, 1983-ish. Reagan talked about
Space Wars?
Yes, or Star Wars.
Star Wars?
Yeah, and that was basically just satellites.
Hey, listen, whoever has the high ground has the advantage.
Yeah, even if it's just satellites. Well, space will likely be a battlefield in any U.S. conflict with China and Russia, according to NBC News and many other news outlets. So, I mean, what are you thinking? I mean,
hey,
are you worried about, first of all, Russia? Those
what I think?
Most of their people live in aluminum sheds. Do you think a country who the majority of their citizens live in aluminum sheds will take over via space?
Yes. You know what I think?
And China, I will say, before you go, Craig, sorry, that's
No,
3 in a
that's
row.
okay.
But like you go outside of any
No,
major
it
city
gets
in
better
China,
with
you're
age.
back in the 14th century. So I mean, are they? China's a superpower. I mean, are we too concerned?
When's the last time
about
you were
the
in China?
space wars?
Exactly.
I
Okay,
think
go on.
that the only
The wrestler?
good bug is a dead bug.
You're exactly right. You're brain bug. They got brain bugs.
Because when the bugs bombed Buenos Aires,
took it off the map.
They made it personal.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Denise
And
Richards.
you know what? The war starts between us and a couple of countries in space, and we're probably all going to die on the planet. There's no doubt about that. But if we're going to unite, we're going to have to fight that battle first, establish a little hierarchy in space, and then they are going to lead us against the bugs.
Yep.
Would you like to know more?
I do.
George Carlin actually said the insects may be next because the dinosaurs became extinct, the humans evolved, and eventually we may be extinct. Maybe I can see like a
Insects,
nuclear
humans.
war. Everybody's dead. The radiation causes insects to grow bigger brains and take over. Is that kind of what you're getting,
Guys,
at,
I
Craig?
saw
because your eyes are huge.
I saw a scary story the other day that said if all of the spiders on Earth
Could eat
united,
us.
they could eat us in 8 days.
Take much.
Every
that
single
gives
one
us
of us.
8 days to
Wouldn't
come up with a
take
plan.
much.
Listen, I'm pretty sure if I got 8 days heads up, I'm going to be stomping some spiders.
You can't do that.
Oh, I can do it. I will terminate them with
Anybody
extreme
who's
presence.
arachnophobic that heard that just now is probably like having a panic attack.
Well, sorry.
Probably being talked off the ledge.
There's ketamine clinics.
Join
Check
the
it out.
infantry. Join the bug infantry.
Anything else in the rabbit hole?
Did we?
Well, I don't
get
know.
to
I mean, it's
I didn't
space
even get to talk about it before
Go ahead.
Craig
God, I
moves
know,
on.
because
He-
Steven, what are your thoughts? Are
always
you
hear your
concerned?
voice.
I'm not too concerned, but
No, I
Steven,
actually
what's
am-
your?
I
Do you have
actually am
thoughts or
concerned.
concerns?
Last time I checked, Elon Musk is doing business here in America, right? He's landing space shuttles, right? He's landing the booster, right?
Yeah.
He's landing them, okay? He's saving billions of dollars. He's planning on going to Mars. He's going to Jupiter. He's going to get up in Uranus. You know what I'm saying? Last time I checked, he's here. And also, last time I checked, Boston Dynamics is here. So if we want to get worried about the space war, I think we got bigger problems. 2041, the singularity is going to be a bigger problem than any of this space nonsense. Okay?
I've got a hypothetical for you. You brought up him going to Mars. If you could buy acreage right now on Mars, would you?
Not
Nope.
now, too
On,
early.
like,
How
yeah,
much?
I'm talking like,
Oh,
dirt
yeah,
cheap.
yeah,
if
like,
they're
is there a
saying,
minimum
if they're
buy
saying like,
here?
hey,
Talking here.
we're going to sell you an acre on Mars for $20
20. Oh, I'm
Well,
risking.
I mean-
the risk is losing $20
for an acre. That's it. You
I'll
could
buy-
carve you could carve
Yeah.
yourself-
Yeah.
Like, would you
5 acres?
No,
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Would you buy like 10 acres and just say, hey,
Buy
I got-
Steve's house
I
for.
got turning a profit for
Hey,
At least you got a place. You're just,
I could flip that. Like, hey, would you like an acre of Mars for $100? I just made $80. Somebody will do that.
word.
Yeah.
Word. Anyway,
Okay, guys, this is it. Reminded me of something. Okay, there's an Elon Musk. He's backed a nonprofit company called OpenAI. Right? Have you guys heard of that?
Okay.
He wants to keep all of the. He has all the patents
released
open.
all the patents. Yeah.
He has all the patents on Tesla open. He's like, guys,
Make
do
it better.
Do it.
Yeah.
And he also has. He's been on the AI train for a while, saying we got to come to a decision now that we're not going to use these for bad. Kind of like a
Probably because he's a robot.
a little bit. But there's a new AI fake text generator, and the creators had to shut it down because they said it got too crazy, too dangerous on them.
Just sending texts.
It was the deep fake. It was dubbed deep fakes for text.
Okay.
And if you don't know what the deep fakes are, those are those videos that you've seen of maybe Steve Buscemi,
Dude.
maybe you've seen them with Nick Cage, where
Vladimir Putin.
they can
Control the face.
very much show very much
Creepy.
Dude.
control, and it's
Can we
you
trust
can
anything?
Tell a little bit now next to a normal one.
But if you didn't know,
if you didn't
you
know,
didn't know that it was made, would you blink an eye? It might look
I
a little
don't.
weird.
You have just a couple of beverages in your system. That would look like a person talking to you.
It's scary, dude.
the AI is what I'm really worried about, because they also had an AI program that they had to shut down. It was MIT and maybe Google. It was two companies, and they had each worked on their own AI, and the AI started communicating, and they couldn't figure out what
it
the
was saying.
AI was saying to each other because they had created their own binary language. We've talked about the Google AI machine when he says, what is immoral to have children?
Yeah.
I mean, what is going on? The AI is creepy.
Oh, so it's an anti-natalist.
I think it's an anti-humanist.
I actually tried to find an anti-natalist to get on the show just to talk to him.
Is this the one that is this like the guy
They're
suing
against-
his parents?
No,
for
these-
not giving permission?
I guess that's
to be
in the
born?
same vein. I guess that's in the same
Little
vein. But
bit.
these are the people who think that having children is completely immoral and we should just die off because the only thing you can guarantee is death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So bringing a child into this world is
isn't that our job on Earth, though?
Yeah.
To keep the
They
species
believe
going?
that. They believe the opposite.
Do we have any job on Earth? I always think, why are we so different, man? Was it the stoned ape theory?
Questions are too big for a Friday night after I've been
working
all day.
Come on, Seth, figure this one out, man.
I'm an anti-natalist myself.
You
Are
don't
you?
ever want kids?
Do you think that we are a? You think that we're a? What's the word? I'm looking for?
Let's just
a disease.
Okay, Daniel Tosh once said, let's just stop having kids and drain the world of its resources and have like an 80-year party.
The
Just
world will
go
grow
out.
back its resources.
Some are not
Eventually, when we
renewable.
leave.
Some are just not renewable.
That's true.
There's not an endless supply of like oil.
That's
There's
right.
a lot more than people think there is.
There's
It's being
lithium.
lied to, but okay.
Yeah, they got like mining all the battery materials now
Lithium.
too. It's pretty wild. If you learn
Are we
about-
still on space?
Yeah, we got off
Where'd you-
track a little bit, but that's what happens when you are in the rabbit hole.
I don't know. I'd be in the space force.
My thoughts on Space Wars Space Wars is I think it's just going to be more of the same, just more technology, more satellites, more advanced drones.
Hey,
that
my
can
gun-
go all
my
the
gun's
way into
bigger than your gun.
space.
I was a big.
I don't
fan.
see X-wing fighters and Imperial walkers.
No, but
on
I
the
was a
moon.
big fan of Star Trek as a kid, just because it was like
Which
the
one?
more just the show and Next
Okay.
Generation. But I like Deep Space Nine. Like as I got older, it's more of a cerebral show. Like they kind of tackle a lot of diplomatic problems, but kind of how they would happen in space with different races and species. And I think that was really cool. And I could see myself on the Starship Enterprise just boldly going where no man has gone before. No man, woman, or non-binary has gone before.
I like it, man.
Yeah,
I'm a big
Wait,
fan.
what's this? Yeah,
I like
yeah,
it.
up a little bit. Okay.
What do you got?
turn that
What else
up.
you got?
Do you guys remember I'm assuming he's in the Hall of Fame without looking it up. He has to be baseball superstar Jose Canseco.
He is not in the Hall of Fame.
He's not?
No.
What?
No,
He's a roid head.
he's-
man.
Oh, no, yeah, that's right. That's
He
right.
is black. belt.
But I get him and Keith Hernandez mixed up a lot for some reason because they both played for like 8 teams and are super famous. But he made his name hitting
maybe
home
played for
runs. But his latest project is a pitch to go Bigfoot hunting. The former MVP posted two tweets on Tuesday night. 2 tweets on Tuesday night.
on Tuesday too.
Offering to take a few lucky people on an expedition tracking the mythical beast and a real alien, in quotes. So, I mean,
What? And you can get aliens and Bigfoots if you go hang out with
And
Jose
Bigfoots.
and Jose Canseco.
he
I'm
is
in.
Officially,
I'm in.
I'm in.
He's officially joined the group that believes the truth is out there, also in quotes, and is on the hunt for both UFOs and Bigfoot. I must say, I like how those groups like come together. It's like they were bullied in high school
Who's to
together.
say?
So
I think
That's
Squatch
pretty
is
cool.
interdimensional. I think he totally plays with extraterrestrials.
Sure.
I think he's so hard to see because he's just jumping in and out of the dimension.
If he is an extraterrestrial, then
She-
guess
or
what? You
non-binary.
I
knock
think
two.
it's stupid not to believe in extraterrestrials.
I tend to agree.
You ever heard of the Fermi? The Fermi
No.
paradox. Thank you.
What,
It's like
I
we're
know
almost
the word
too big
paradox.
to even have anybody near us, so we'll never.
Well,
even
near us
know.
possibly, but the idea
We've
that
been
it's not out
visited.
there
I
is
think
kind
this
of
planet
crazy.
has been visited by living things that are not originally from this planet.
What?
And
I agree with that.
Yeah.
The pyramids? You think the pyramids had anything to do with that?
you know what?
Guys, go down the Graham Hancock.
Oh, I
rabbit
was
hole.
just gonna say.
Go down the Graham Hancock rabbit hole because that guy is proving time like every day that things are a lot older than we thought they were. That civilizations have probably been around a lot longer than we can.
Tepe.
You know, and there's a huge contingent against him because there are people that make their living as archaeologists and Egyptologists that like everything that they know.
What
Are you
the
showing
hell?
them their pepperonis there?
Yeah, they asked me.
Everything
it's like
that
perfect nipples.
everything that they know, everything that they've been teaching, everything that they've built history upon might not be the whole story, and they're not down to learn this. So Graham Hancock, check him out. Like if you guys want to check out like maybe like ancient alien type stuff, like it's pretty neat.
He's got that book, Playground of the Gods. What's it called? Garden. I'll look it up. But his books are fascinating. Not that I've read any of them. I've heard people talk about him, but he's on Rogan's podcast.
Great.
And that was
I was listening to him on Amber Lyons' podcast, St. Louis's own.
Him?
I sent her person an email. I'm waiting to hear back.
I would love to have Amber
yeah.
on the show. It'd be terrific.
It took me like 3 hours to find this person, so I hope they at least send us a F off or something just for my efforts.
I met Jose Canseco one time.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
I'll say, by the way, it's $5,000 to hunt Bigfoot with them.
Oh, it's a bargain to go kick it with
Really?
old
I think
Joey
Jose
Can.
just needs some money.
Fingerprints of the gods.
Fingerprints of the gods. Very good. Graham Hancock, go check it out. So yeah, I go my day job, I come across this customer. They're like, oh, we put on all of these signings at these different cities. We bring athletes out, people bring their memorabilia, they can have their stuff signed or whatever. So we're like, he goes, we're going to be in St. Louis this weekend. So me and my buddy happened to look it up, and who is there? The Nature Boy. Woo! Ric Flair was there, and I had to go. I dropped everything. It was a Saturday morning. We go out. It was in Westport. We go to meet Nature Boy. It was a great day. We're hanging out. We're hanging out in the green room. And before Rick came back, guess who was sitting back there? Jose Canseco. Comes up, super great guy, super nice. Dude, he looks like he could still be playing. He is a man. Maybe could use a little bit more on leg day, but he is a man, like just a chest that's like 60 inches wide.
Yeah, I saw him in one of those commercials.
The guy is
for,
a monster.
Guy had a home run ball go off his melon, and he
Off
didn't
his
even know. He didn't even know where the ball was. That's how juiced that dude was, allegedly.
Well, I appreciate him though, because everything that he has ever said that's gotten him in hot water with the MLBPA and with everybody in the baseball world has been true. It has been proven true. So like, you can say what you want, but he definitely, tore the veil off,
he was
off
the
of that
guy.
whole thing for sure.
He was the guy.
And I've got a super hot take on steroids in the game, and we can get to that another time because it would probably eat up a half hour.
We might have Kyle in next.
That
we
would
might
be
go
fantastic.
sports heavy next show,
Talk
guys.
a little balls and bats.
Yeah, well, the Blues, they went on that little journey
What are
to
they?
the woods.
What-
8 in a row.
8 in a row.
8 in a row.
The dog's growing up
I
and
know.
peeing on everything.
Yeah, they murdered the dog.
That's what happened?
Yeah, Barkley
That's what you said. You
I
said all along.
Murder that dog.
Barkley has to go.
Or get rid of that song. That
One of the
goal
two.
song.
One of the two.
They kept the goal song around. I'm glad.
Sorry, Barkley.
I like the decision.
It was a good run, kid.
What else we got in the rabbit hole?
I believe that's it.
Well, that's okay, but let's go on that a little bit.
We can.
though.
I had one more thing. We
Please.
can talk.
Please.
People hacking into sex robots to murder people.
Oh, dude, that'll be the game. Once AI,
I knew
baby,
you would
once
like
you hack
this.
into it for sure, man. Maybe not to murder people, maybe to watch.
But my question is just
to
why?
get in there and watch.
Why? No, this article is specifically, and somebody posted on our page today, but it's specifically about murder.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
just
People are
wondering
hacking
why.
into
What do you
sex
get out of
robots
that?
and
Do
can
you think some
eventually murder
religious group is behind it? Like it's a moral?
Well, they're
morality?
already doing it to cars. Hello, what was that? Josh Hoskins,
I have no idea.
the reporter from Rolling Stone,
Okay.
started sending out emails. He goes, "I'm on to something big. I'm on to the biggest story of my life." Sending back and forth emails. A week later, he's like, "If I go missing, I am not doing anything crazy. Just so you know." At 3 a.m, his car is seen flying down the road. He slams into a tree, dies. His engine, I want to say, is like 300 yards away. So there was like an explosion. And they interviewed Audi and Mercedes afterwards, and they said, "Do you have the ability to remote control your vehicles?" Both of them said no comment. They wouldn't come out and say, "No, we can't do it." My stepdad's new truck, Shout out to my stepdad Rando. He got a new truck and he's like, I did an OnStar thing and they ran the diagnostics through. I was like, I've
That's been
never
going on
seen
for a
that.
while.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
His truck's like an 09 or something. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what, dude?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty. I think I'll look up the name. I'm pretty sure
That's
it's Hastings.
terrifying.
It's a wild, and it was like Ben Swan. It kind of went away, and now Ben Swan's a robot.
He's got his own little deal carved out, doesn't he?
Not
the same,
really,
is it?
Not at all,
Not
man.
the
They
same.
got him after Pizzagate. Man.
So, Seth, would you would it diminish your chances of copulating with a robot if you knew that it was able to kill you?
Well, I don't want to do that to begin with, so I guess that's just one more reason not to.
Seth, that you're in front of friends here.
I mean,
you can just tell us
if you're what were you living for,
dude. You
way to go.
You better have a protocol for your friends to follow if you are found dead on top of a sex robot. Like we all know as buddies, like, hey, get in there, delete the history, fella.
Yeah.
But people cannot know how horrible inside I am.
Be like, Steve died inside of a little Asian man. Okay, you got to get him out of there. That's what my
do
what
not
my
let him know
doll
about
is.
the robot. Totally deflected.
That's what my doll is.
Probably like a 64 to 65-year-old Asian man.
Mine, I have one of those and like a 19-year-old Harry Potter.
Oh,
Those are-
okay.
Yeah,
I see where you're going.
Yeah, you know what I like.
I do know what you like. You're a weird man.
Yeah, I am. Here's a story. Michael Hastings.
Michael Hastings.
He brought down the career of General Stanley McChrystal.
He gone.
He said he's the basis for War Machine, starring Brad Pitt.
Oh, okay. But he gone.
Yeah, he died in a car accident, a suspicious car accident in L.A. Old journalist. Look up some. I mean, I'm a conspiracy guy. I'll admit it. I look into stuff, and
it's a good read.
Usually, I look into stuff, and if I see the facts, I'm like, that they're pushing it. They're pushing it with the conspiracy. But other things, like they're like, hey, World Trade 7 fell down on its own. I'm like, guys, I'm just still not buying it.
Where's the rest of the plane?
I'm not okay with it.
World Trade 7. I'm just still like, huh?
Dude, and oh, hey, they, by the way,
They pulled it.
They crashed planes into the Pentagon, but there's no debris.
36 cameras.
There's no debris. But you know what they did find, though, which is a godsend,
Passports.
because we would have never been able to put this together if they didn't find it. There wasn't a screw or a bolt from this plane, but they did find fully intact passports.
Yep, and they knew those were the guys.
And those were the guys. They had to be because
they found them.
because they crashed into a building that has trillions of papers in files everywhere.
Yeah. But yeah, Michael Hastings, look that stuff up. Pretty wild, baby. Pretty wild world.
And if
we're
you're just
living in.
feeling it, guys, peel off $5,000 and go hang with Jose Canseco in the woods and go find Squatch.
If you got $5,000 burning a hole in your
Let's
pocket.
start a GoFundMe and let's send Bigfoot Willie Jr.
Oh!
on the road with Jose Canseco.
I am insanely jealous. I didn't think of that.
That's
That's
awesome.
a
great idea.
Well, we got
Bigfoot Willie Jr. Shout out to him. I hope you're out there. I hope you found Squatch. I hope you guys are having a nice, lovely dinner right now by the candlelight.
God, he's the best, man.
He's so
One of
good.
the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're up against it. Guys, on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about some streaming picks. We'll wrap up this week a little bit. We're going to talk about Hoosier Tattoo Day. We're going to talk about, I don't know, whatever you want to talk
I
about.
got a fun cannabis article that I think will kind of blow everybody's mind too, because it's one of the oldest adages in the cannabis book. And it's going to say, hey, maybe we're not right about it after all.
Sounds like a winner. Guys, this is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU920am.com. We will see you on the other side of the break. You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risk of everyday life. And that's exactly what James Carlton State Farm does. He's also dangerously handsome. He has the dreamiest eyes.
James Carlton has the best customer service in the game. You'll never get a voicemail, and you'll always get a great back rub.
He has the softest hands.
A strong sense of community is important to who he is as an agent. From local school sponsorships to sandbagging during floods, it's paramount to be a part of the community.
We love the cut of his jib.
Guys, call 314-961-4800. Find him online at carltoninsurance.net.
We wish he was our dad.
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I've been pretty good.
Well, that's good. Hey, you heard anything about them newfangled hemp oils they got now?
I just don't know where to find a good one.
Well, I find the best SpectrumCo.com. I get it from Mo.com.
Is it expensive?
Cost $2 if you enter host promo. Get yourself 15% off.
Buddy, it sounds like
You can find them online, momedcanco.com, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
buddy. Yeah.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
It lasts a lifetime.
Come on.
It lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
And just go Google it. I wanna let those shingles down, girl, for you. I wanna let those shingles down, boy, for you. I'm gonna do some siding, get you excited. James Hardy siding. Google it.
Read that for a lifetime. You know, make your neighbors cry. Boo hoo. Cause we tell all the go bye. And you know we all do the side.
James Hardy, boy, yeah.
Guys, Lifetime Roofing. They're the best roofers in the game. Best customer service. LifetimeSTL.com. Google them.
A diamond is forever. You know what? Fuck that. A tattoo, that's forever. A piece of art that represents something you're passionate about, a loved one, a memory, or maybe just some really cool design you want to be part of your body for life. Stop by Tower Classic Tattooing in the Grove and let one of their artists take your idea from your heart, soul, and mind and bring it to your skin. From the drawing table to the application itself, these artists hit a home run in every aspect of tattooing. Any style, any size, color, black and gray, doesn't matter, they got you covered. Got the itch to get inked? Check out their artist profiles at towerclassic.com. Tower Classic Tattoo, located at 4146 Manchester in the Grove.
Hey there, sophisticated Hoosiers. Have you been to our website? Visit HoosierSophisticate.com and listen to our uncensored podcast. Share some laughs with us. Send us fan mail so we can feel warm and special. Buy our merchandise so that we can eat. Wear your Hoosier Sophisticate t-shirt at social gatherings and let the women approach you. Wear it around the office and get that big promotion instead of Ted. That's right. Screw Ted. Ted sucks. That's HoosierSophisticate.com.
Have you ever been pressed for time? Rushing to get to that very important meeting with the big guys, or trying to beat that grace period at work and finding somewhere to park is nearly impossible? You finally find a parking spot in front of the parking meter and you realize that you didn't bring any change. You happen to look over and see a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk. And for a half second, we immediately assume that the homeless person wants something from us. We snap back to reality as we check all our pockets for change because we don't want to get a parking ticket. Coincidentally, we look over and see the homeless man handing us the exact change we need for the parking meter. My new album, View from the Inside Out, was created to encourage listeners to not judge a book by its cover, because sometimes it's the person that we least expect that will be the one that gives us exactly what we need when we need it. View from the Inside Out drops March 19 everywhere. And remember, integrity matters the most when you're by yourself.
Thanks for listening. This is Integrity. Follow me everywhere at Integrity Music.
Hoosier Sophisticate with Craig Kohler and Stephen Elgin.
Was convicted LSD kingpin to best-selling author Seth Ferranti.
I was in prison. I was really writing for my peers. You know, I wasn't writing for the street. I was with like Italian mafia dudes. I was with like Colombian cocaine cartel dudes. And, you know, all those dudes, there were books about that, guys. But a lot of the African-American gangsters, gangster rap was really big in this time, mid-90s. Yeah. You just heard their names and everybody was talking about them. And, you know, I'm on these compounds. There's these myths and legends, so that's why I decided to write about them.
Hoosier Sophisticate, Fridays from 6 p.m. on WGNU.
A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think about except thought. So he loses touch with reality and lives in a world of illusion.
Welcome back, St. Louis. Let's get your mind right with Craig Kohler and Stephen Elgin. This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU.
I'm not saying that thinking is bad. Like everything else, it's useful in moderation. And all so-called civilized peoples have increasingly become crazy and self-destructive. Through excessive thinking, they have lost touch with reality.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Hoosier Sophisticate Radio, WGNU 920 AM. Put a .com at the end of that. You can stream us anywhere, Facebook, YouTube, on the Mycelial Media YouTube channel. Guys, that sultry and just sexy voice you hear coming back, Integrity, that's our board op. We don't even let him really talk that much.
No, he would totally
because
overshadow us if we did.
it's unreal. And what an artist he is, man.
Absolutely.
Integrity
Leader in the
Music.
community.
Integrity Music.
No eye. Drop
No
that
eye.
eye.
And check that out online right now. It is phenomenal stuff.
Raises you up. We talk about, songs where the words raise you up, and every time I hear his songs, I think Precious is the new one out right now. And you want to talk about, empowering women.
Yeah.
You have daughters. You got two little boys. Yep. We got a 13-year-old daughter at home.
Yeah.
I hope that those are the words that she's hearing out there in the lexicon. Those are the types of things I want her to know.
Oh, dude,
You know what I
Integrity has this saying with his kids that is honestly one of the most cool things I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it with my boys. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Well, why do we fall? So we can get back up. And I'm trying to teach them. And they're like, shut up, Dad. A hacker got me on Fortnite. I want donuts for dinner. It's ridiculous. I don't know what kind of magic
You just need
Integrity
to
has
send them to Integrity for a week. They'll come back.
Drop some bows on
kids.
them,
Better
baby. I
kids.
know. Don't let me babysit your kids because they'll be like, oh, we have no respect for adults anymore. That's weird.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah. We like movies. Oh, is this a clap? We like movies. So do we. You like it. So do you. It's the streaming picks of the week. It's the streaming picks of the week. It's the streaming picks of the week. I like the internet too. Yes, Integrity with the clap soundtrack. I love it.
What are you watching this week?
I watched the Valentine's Day episode of Big Mouth.
I did too.
Pretty fun.
It was fun.
I wonder though, and they're still making me laugh.
They are making me laugh. Are they running out of material?
Are they? Can you call boobs and penises only so many different funny things? But I think keep doing it. I don't know. I like it.
They have no problem reaching out there real far to take the joke
So
that extra
good.
mile,
Yeah.
and to really get inside the mind of just a disgusting little boy and girl,
Yeah.
for that matter. Which that for me with Big Mouth, we've talked about this before. I don't think my parents would have allowed me to watch this as a
No,
preteen.
no, not at all. I would have to
But
sneak it.
had I known that girls felt the same way that I did about things, that their body was changing.
know.
I mean, we knew that, but we didn't know
No.
what that meant.
No.
And so to kind of
We're always
hear
trying to
the
get it,
girls'
man.
perspective,
They don't want to give it up, and we're always trying to get
no
it.
doubt, brother. Let's win this conquest.
Yeah, no notch in my belt.
All right.
It's not like that at all.
It's not like that,
and the show does an excellent job because I love the Ladybug character as well.
dude.
Young man, I'll give you a little recap of how stupid this show actually is.
It breaks through the fourth wall or whatever. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Dude,
It's
that's
beautiful.
a great little character. I still want more of that new hormone monster
for sure.
I don't think he made an appearance. I mean,
He did not.
They touch on the girl hormone monster now being the
protagonist.
Boy,
Yeah.
And he's like, I've been faking my orgasms with you. And then Steve's mom's like, I think Coach Steve's Homer
It's great.
Monster.
It's great.
Only gets one line, but he's phenomenal.
What
dude.
is it like? It's probably a 48-minute special. It's a longer
Yeah,
special.
I think
it's like
so.
2 episodes back to back, basically.
Really
it's
good.
funny. It kind of builds where it left off with the last one.
Yes, it
I
does.
am excited to kind of see where they go with the next season.
Yeah,
I think that'll be a lot of fun.
It's cool. It's
Yeah.
just it's easy laughs, and they will say something every once in a while that you're like, wow.
You know,
Okay, you wowed me.
Speaking of easy laughs, this is I think it's a Netflix original, and I'm late to the game on it. But Miss and the kids have been watching Unbreakable
Kimmy Schmidt. Yeah.
And so I found myself sitting down watching
bad.
this. And you want to talk about easy laughs? Like it's very slapstick. It's very goofy. Do you remember the gal from Scrooged? Like the crazy she was just a real nutty lady. I can't never think of her name. She hits him with the frying pan and
Bill
Scrooge.
Murray.
Yes, yeah, like she's one of the
picture.
that goes, whatever. She plays this great character. She's like a 60 or 7-year-old. She's just like from the streets of New York. She can't stand all this gentrification in her neighborhood. And she's selling meth off of her doorstep. She's just an insane character. And it follows this girl that like woke up or came out of a like a bomb shelter. They'd been living underground for a long time. Okay. And so that's the whole premise of the show is like this girl reacclimating to society above ground,
Rescued from a doomsday cult.
Yes, it's there's a lot like just really over the top characters, but it works and it's funny and it's lighthearted and it's feel good. It will get a laugh out of you.
I like stuff like that.
But-
It's easy. I like when you're going to bed or something. That's when I really don't want to turn on the Thrones. I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
I need something that I don't have to.
It's an easy
catch
watch.
Everything.
It's an easy watch, and that's the thing. It's also like you can actually be doing something else and just hear what they're saying, and it's a good background show too. Like it's just got a lot of laughs in it.
That's Ellie Kemper, and I believe she's a St. Louis girl.
She's great. If she is, I'm not sure about all that, but she's terrific.
I want to
as the lead.
say
It looks like it.
was.
Yep. St. Louis. Look at that.
Kansas City.
She was 5 years old.
Wash U. Yeah, no, she's great.
John Burroughs.
I never respected the last couple seasons of The Office after Michael left, and now dare I say, her character in The Office. And
I didn't. She's an Office character.
Oh, so she comes in maybe the last 3 seasons. But also Robert California, played by James Spader.
Oh, I love James Spader.
He is the epitomization, if that's a word, of Hoosier Sophisticate.
Really?
Like, he doesn't have much Hoosier. He's like, I built this house. He's getting divorced from his wife. He's like, I built this house. I imagine nights that would go on for days where we'd be eating grapes from each other's mouths, and this would be my den of iniquity. And that's like he built this house with like a sex room and all this stuff. And he's like, now it's just a portrait of my hollow dreams. Like he's very the way he talks,
very poetic.
He is the way he goes on his first interview. It's like he gets them to want to hire him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
An amazing character. I didn't give him any due. I hated him. I was like, I don't like James Spader. I miss Michael.
Yeah.
Rewatching it, I was like, this.
He's a great character.
And now with the not a sex cult, I'm like, this is the guy.
It plays, huh?
This is the guy
We
here,
gotta
man.
check it out. I'll tell you what. There's another one on Netflix right now called excuse me for a second. One Strange Rock.
Yeah, I saw that. What's
Kind
that
of
about?
it's a nature documentary. Will Smith narrates it.
Okay.
And it's just beautiful cinematography. And then they'll have people come in, like they have Chris Hadfield, who was the Canadian astronaut, that was on ISS for a while. A guy that played Space Oddity, Ground Controls. And he did it from the space station.
Yep.
He did a lot of really cool stuff up there. And there's like some scenes where he explains like how life works at a just a tiny molecular level, which is kind of ties into Ant-Man and Wasp, which I checked out on your
so good
on your recommendation. But like we actually had somebody. I went down to Johnson Shut-ins.
So cool. Your
a few weeks
pictures
ago, and the watercolor was amazing,
blue,
and he explains where those tinges of green and looking at it from the space station point of view, you know, and you see it through the oceans and it moves in currents, and it's these microscopic, like almost like Planck level beings that just expand and explode, and like that's what, and they come up, they feed off of it's amazing. I don't want to misrepresent what he says. It's super cool. I don't even know what episode that is, but like they have a really fun way of making you understand. That's my favorite thing in documentaries, when they show you something that is awe-inspiring, that is, you know, just the most brilliant depiction of God, you know, in creation, right? And then they explain kind of what's happening at all of these different levels of existence, man. It's awesome. Check it out. One Strange Rock. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, because the Ant-Man and Wasp, like when you get down on those little levels, because you know you hear as below as above, you know, like the
so
little,
below as above.
yeah, like all the little sayings like that. And when you really start like getting into the science of it, you're like, oh man, where does it end? Greg, where does it end?
For me, that's always the most fascinating thing. You know, about, you know, psychedelics, or about that experience, about trying to break it down. Like for me, you know, infinite up, infinite down. Yeah. You know, we right now, this existence, this whole universe could be but in an atom of a larger universe happening. I'm fully into the multiversal, you know, theory, and I love the idea of you know, it's like Horton Hears a Who. Dr. Seuss was on top of it. Like, and I used to always think of that as a kid. Like I used to think of like little microscopic people inside of me, and they were all just pulling levers to make things work. And I mean, really on a scientific level, like you asked about believing in reincarnation. Yeah. I mean, on a base cellular level, aren't we all reincarnated?
That was awesome. I never thought of reincarnation like that. If you break that down a little bit more,
from just like, and you know, I'm not a physicist or anything, but from just a purely scientific level, you know, we live, we die, we decay, are, you know, down to a cellular level. We feed some kind of mycelium or some kind of root system. We then grow into something else. Something eats us. From that, they say you are what you eat, and so like your cells are constantly changing, and so what you're consuming from food becomes your new cells. So like in even just the base scientific level, of course we're being reincarnated. We're constantly feeding this cycle of life.
The circle of life.
But yeah, so
hold on a second, because that Taco Bell smells like a mixture of dog food and piss. That's the worst thing I've ever had come into the studio. We had onions in here one time.
Well, I mean, it's Taco Bell.
That was unbelievable.
New sponsors.
I thought
New
Craig
sponsors. Try
his pants.
Try out their new dog food and piss burrito. It's on sale.
That's what their meat consists of.
It smelled like when all the boys come over to my house, like all the sons.
Hell yeah.
The second sons come to my house
Dude.
and pee all over my bathroom.
What
And
is the deal?
I gotta wash my shower
What
curtain.
is the deal, kids?
Get it in there, fellas. Listen, I've been there.
Have you? I think they try to hit the ceiling.
Well, sometimes I'm like, and my initial aim's off, or I
Sneeze.
shoot off real quick, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like back of the lid,
Kind of like Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh, that's one of the greatest scenes
is
in
hilarious.
all of movie
It is
history.
so
and if you haven't seen the deleted scenes of Me, Myself, and Irene,
Go check 'em out.
God, dude, one of the greatest scenes in cinema history is deleted from that movie.
Scary Movie 2 was the exact same way. On the DVD, they had about 5 deleted scenes that were the funniest thing that they did throughout that whole movie.
Right. And I want to get into some cannabis news, but this is kind of a nice segue. We got the new Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I believe.
Okay, yeah, I think they're. I think they're working.
Because I got all like worked up about the Big Lebowski. And that was a commercial, right?
Yeah, I didn't even see the commercial yet. I haven't seen anything associated with it. But I'm really leery of a sequel to the Big Lebowski. Like for me, that's the perfect comedy. You know, it's always up. It's my top 3 for sure.
Well,
sure.
I got all jacked up because they did a great ad campaign.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you exactly what it was even doing.
Right.
But I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready for a sequel of this. But the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back sequel, I mean, some of the deleted scenes from that with Judd Nelson.
Yeah.
When he's like, let's go back to the station house, round up some drunks, make some man chowder. And then they leave like he has He says 8 different things before him and the cops leave, and they are phenomenal. Shout out to Judd Nelson, one of the best actors of our time. Yeah, exactly. Don't you forget about me. But, in Jay and Silent Bob, they talk a lot about cannabis. And Craig, I got some cannabis news that's probably going to knock yours and Seth's socks right off.
Let's
and really,
go.
Really,
I wore 2 socks today,
I
so
wanted
good
to
luck.
say something else. But everyone knows what's an indica, what's a sativa, right? Can you break that down for me? What everyone says.
Well, typically, an indica is a darker flower that is typically a little headier, makes you a little more tired, a little more sleepy. A sativa might bring on a little bit more of that paranoia, that little more upbeat feeling, maybe a little bit more, just a little more bend in your psyche, like a little more anxious. I feel like.
All right,
I know
sativa is the one where you can still get stuff done.
That's
That's indica is like you watch
couch was the big thing.
Indica, you watch a movie or a Netflix
real
series.
heady.
This is from Leafly.com, a great source. Indica strains are believed to be physically sedating, perfect for relaxing with a movie, a nightcap before bed. Sativas tend to provide more invigorating, uplifting cerebral effects that pair well with physical activity, social gatherings, and creative projects. This belief that indicas and sativas deliver distinct effects is so deeply rooted in mainstream cannabis culture that bud tenders, we'll have those here soon in Missouri, typically begin their strain recommendations by asking which of these 3 types you prefer. One straight sativa. Well, this article goes on to say that it's the terpene, it's the mix of the cannabinoids. It has a little bit to do with it. They don't know. This just says don't buy into that theory anymore. That might be an old wives' tale that like our kids are like, oh, you guys used to believe that? You didn't know about the full peen mix? You guys are dumb. It's a long article, but they go into how the terpenes are going to change everything about it, how different the way the plants are grown can possibly even have an effect on it, how your body individually is going to affect it. So if you get on Leafly, I'll go ahead and post it on there.
Sure.
But guys, the sativa and indica, that whole moniker, I think it's out the window. Now you can let us know. You can get on our Facebook page. I'll post the link and we can all kind of discuss it, because I'm one of those guys who, if you get, if my friend gets stuff in St. Louis and it has a name on it, it's like, give me a break.
Right.
Give me a break. What? Okay, it's a white widow shattered mouth. Like, what is that? Mixed Gorilla Glue and some other things. I don't buy into it, but it'll be nice when it does come. I wonder how they test that. Like, to say, is this seed? You're selling this as a wedding cake.
Mm-hmm.
How do I know you started with wedding cake seeds? I know they track it from seed to sale.
I think that's where you're going to see people really trying to protect their genetics and, trying to, I guess, patent or license their genetics, from seed to sale. They can say, hey, they got documentation showing it. I honestly don't know. And I'm not sure I'm all that worried about it. I like the idea of being able to go shopping and try a recommendation and, and maybe ease into, a different strain or flower that works better for different things.
Sure.
If you can kind of keep your own notes, because we don't know.
Yes, you have to.
Right now we don't
have
know.
to.
But when you're actually able to go and buy it from seed to sale and it's a regulated market, you can say, oh, that strain I really had a good time.
No
on.
doubt.
So that's going to make my short list of ones that I look for.
Yep.
And you also can't expect it, like you buy it one time, the next grow might not be the exact same, might be the same seed.
Yep.
The conditions are going to, might change or what, so there are people who are really, honing in on that and churning out the same kind of flower each time.
Along the same lines, I went to Colorado. I immediately went there and said, what is the highest THC content? I want to try it out just to see, how am I going to get?
Yeah.
And I read an article that says it's not about the percentage of THC. Of course, it does to a certain extent, but you're not going to percentage. If you have 29, a 25, a 20, and a 15, you might get different ranges of buzzes from all those. You're not going to be like, I was the highest from
29.
The 29. I could tell. So this goes on to say that maybe when you're shopping and going into dispensaries, you might want to look for something that's THC dominant, CBD dominant, because there's over a couple hundred types of cannabinoids. So CBD dominant, maybe a balanced THC and CBD, And then the terpenes. So it's like aromatherapy. If you ever used aromatherapy to relax or invigorate your mind, then you understand the basics of terpenes. Okay. So all those terpenes in there, those are all going to help you out too. I can't wait, man.
It's going to change the game.
Yeah, it is.
And it's going to make medicine easier, medicating easier.
People are going to get their medicine.
And like I said, it's going to make for a better niche market where people can actually really set themselves apart.
Yep.
People are worried about
Yes.
big conglomerates getting in, and that's fine. That is needed.
Johnson & Johnson's getting into the K game.
It's so needed. We need to have a domestic level, right? We need to have a Bud Light of Buds.
I'm excited to I'm 34. You guys are
34.
Yeah. So I mean, imagine 35. When we're 44, what we're going to be talking about on this show. This inevitably is still going to be in the air.
You're darn.
Well, that's what's great about the 726,000 people that are listening right now. Pretty soon it's going to be
around the world,
26 million.
Yeah.
And
I don't know how we'll be able to handle it.
You can say that you're in the top 1%. You were there in the beginning. You can be the ultimate hipsters of the ultimate cannabis and psychedelic friendly show on terrestrial radio. Hoosier Sophisticate.
That Taco Bell was okay. Speaking of smoking.
Oh God, we got some comments on the old Facebook live feed. Some of the best times of the office come after Michael leaves. I very much agree with you. Sativas help me clean, says one of our texters, and terp sauce coming soon, baby.
Hey, just do us all a favor.
Yeah,
and don't chaz the banger.
You're darn right. Daryl said that earlier. Shout out to Daryl and our boys at Missouri Cannabis Consultants.
For sure.
The best.
Good peeps.
Best in the game.
Good peeps. I don't know.
I don't know many consultants.
They're great. They're awesome. They are great
too.
people. I trust them. When I need some cannabis knowledge, that's who we lean on. We talk to old John Hunt. He lets us know how things are going.
Johnny,
all kinds of different. He's in a few different markets.
Yeah.
Doing it right.
Darn right. He's like,
hey, I want to bring up one quick thing because I know we got to wrap this all up.
Let's
But
wrap it up, baby.
I posted something on the page the other day. Guy I went to high school with. I just think he's awesome. I think he's
That
super
artist?
cool. His name's Wiley Ross.
God.
He's down in Austin, Texas. He was always just a super talented kid in high school. I think he was a year, maybe 2 years ahead of me. Big, tall guy, good basketball player. Always we down the art hall, all of the best kid artists were definitely featured.
Like a hose.
Without a, I'm sure, without a doubt, his was always hanging up there, whatever the project was. And he's done some incredible murals. If you've ever been in Austin, Texas, you go down there, there's a Willie Nelson mural.
They're
that is
unreal.
huge. Janis Joplin. He just did a John Prine one that is so cool. But he went around, and this is just the type of cool dude he is. He has a bunch of homeless friends that live in ATX, and one of them is a phenomenal artist.
Did you just call Austin, Texas?
That's what they call it, ATX, right? I'm sorry, get with the lingo. So he decided to do a series.
2 syllables. ATX is 3.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all right. I'm cool.
I'm hip, bro.
I'm hip, yo. So he decided to paint a series of paintings of all these different homeless people throughout Austin, and he splits the commission with them. Just gives them a nice big fat chunk of change. And I think he's an inspiring dude, man. I think it's pretty cool. There's a little mini doc. Check out Wiley Ross, WileyRoss, at Wiley Ross Art on Instagram. He's a great follow. He's a musician too. He's got a little band called Streetlight Susie. He's super cool cat. He's always doing good. He's a great dad. You can see him just always.
You get him
doing
here.
Cool stuff with. You can definitely go to WileyRossArt.com and check out. I mean, he's got commissions that are for sale. One of the coolest Mark Twain. I'm working something out with him on that. One of the coolest Mark Twain portraits I've ever seen. He just did a Frida Kahlo. Just amazing stuff. Amazing
that's
guy.
Why we're plugging him.
Giving back to no, that's not really. I want to give this guy more than what he wants for it because it's that good. This guy's a world class artist. Check out Wiley Ross Art. Give him a free shout out, man. We think he's awesome, and it's a great way to wrap up the show because the stuff he's doing for his community is very similar to our second hour sponsor, Lifetime Roofing.
Roof.
They're always looking to give back and help people out in need. It's not always just about roofs or exteriors, which, by the way, they do the best work out there. Their customer service is great, but they're always giving back. They are the love. They choose to be the love we want to see in the world. We love them as a sponsor. Parlor STL in the had last Friday night. Love them.
I'll remember that night for the rest of my life.
Well, there's going to be a lot more.
Tower Classic Tattooing,
month.
February 24th. Come on out. Get a tattoo with us. Send us the art. HoosierSophisticate@gmail.com. Come on out. We're going to go back and forth between Parlor STL and Tower Classic. We're going to get tatted up. It's going to be a great time. MoMedCanco.com. Enter HOSO at checkout. Get 15% off the best hemp oil in the game and the best insurance guy in the game, James Carlton State Farm. is as good as they come. They make all this possible. You make all this possible. Thanks for joining us. This has been Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU 920 AM. We'll see you next week.
People full of angels. If you love me like you love yourself, forget I had it, that's why.
You're listening to WGNU St. Louis, operating on 920 AM and K295CQ on 106.9 FM.
In Aurora, Illinois, NBC Chicago reports at least 4 police officers are in stable condition after being wounded at the Henry Pratt Company. You're listening to USA